So, you're wanting to get a console in 2026, and well, let's be honest. 2026 gaming is just in general very expensive, but you still have some cheaper options, and one of those options will most likely be the Xbox Series S. Unless you want to go for Nintendo Switch, which is still a lot cheaper. But today we're going to be covering everything you should know about the Xbox Series S before you buy it for yourself, covering everything you should know in terms of specs, what you can expect in gaming, and just if I think you should actually get this in 2026. So, without further ado, let's get straight to the video. First, let's actually talk about the specs that you get when it comes to the Xbox Series S. Now, of course, this is the most affordable option you can go for when it comes to an Xbox in 2026. And I'll definitely say, compared to back when I got this originally, which was back in 2021, there are so many more options to actually go for the Series S options. Of course, the option I have right here is the 512GB option, even though you are, I think, getting under 400 gigs, which, yes, every game company likes to do this with the consoles. I don't know why, but it's just how it is. But besides that, the Xbox Series S is going to be able to deliver you up to 1440p gaming at 120 FPS, which in my opinion is not bad at all. If you are planning to actually use this for a more affordable budget setup, this will definitely work perfectly for your monitor. And don't worry, if you are wanting to experience 4K streaming for also your favorite streaming services, you can still do that with the Series S. So yes, in some ways, this does actually make more sense for a living room setting. But now on the top of the console, you do have the air vent, which obviously is going to be very useful to make sure this console does not overheat. And I'm going to say, if you are going to be using this for long periods of times, you'll definitely notice a lot of heat is getting pushed out of this console, depending on which titles you do mostly play. But on the front side of the Xbox Series S, you have a USB Type-A with the connect button for the controller. At the back, you do get an Ethernet port, two USB Type-A ports, one HDMI out port, which is of course HDMI 2.1. You do get a storage expansion slot, which we'll actually talk about later. And you of course do have your power port. And just a nice little Easter egg, if you actually look at the back of the console, you do have a nice little Easter egg that says hello from Seattle, which I'll say is a nice little nod from Xbox. Of course, you do get the standard Xbox controller, which of course for me, I actually have this controller. This is the mineral blue, I believe. Not too sure exactly what the model name is, but I have this controller, but you do also get the standard white controller. But if you do go for, let's say, the black version of the Series S, or even the Series X, you obviously will get a color matched controller for your console. But now let's actually talk about the experience you can get when it comes to using the Xbox Series S. Now do keep in mind, the Xbox Series S is a digital only console, which means yes, this is more focused on the Xbox Game Pass, which is actually the whole purpose of the Series S. But don't let that fool you, because despite this actually being a lower performing console compared to the Series X, its older brother, it still actually performs really well and still runs a lot of games at a good FPS and good quality. When it comes to the gaming aspects of the Xbox Series S, you do get a lot of performance. And for me personally, someone that does enjoy better graphics when it comes to gaming, it does actually deliver a lot. I played many titles from Indiana Jones to The Great Circle, which is also one of the games that is available on Xbox Game Pass. And of course, I enjoy playing Forza, which is a fun experience on the Series S. And of course, you'll actually get a decent experience when it comes to a lot of titles that are available on the market. But the fact that you are actually getting this much performance when it comes to gaming, and it still gives you about 1440p at 120 FPS, is still really useful. But do keep this in mind, not all games are optimized for high FPS. So depending on which title you're going to be playing on the Series S, depends if you're going to be actually gaining that extra FPS. And of course, you are also limited to your display, but if you do have a display that is over 60 Hz, you should actually be able to experience some good gaming FPS. But in general, I'll just say the Series S actually does give you a lot of performance, especially when it comes to actually loading up some games. Now to give you an idea, there's a lot of videos out on YouTube where you can actually see that show actually how quick the Series S is when it comes to loading some games or even just starting up a game. And this is also compared to the Series X and even the PS5s. And surprisingly, with the Series S and X, they actually load up pretty quickly compared to also the PS5. Which yes, does give you an idea that even though it's a small console, it does have a lot of power to it, and the solid state drive that they use actually is quick enough to load any games you're wanting to, and of course it has the most well-known feature, which is Quick Resume, which works really perfectly with the Series S. But this is where I actually do want to mention why I said I will be talking about the expansion slot earlier in the video, is that yes, one of the main downsides with the base spec Series S is the storage, because of course you aren't getting much storage. Now, me personally, I did get myself a Western Digital C50, which is a nice little expansion card for the Series S and X. And I'll definitely admit it is about $100 for the 512 gig option. And you can also go for a 1TB, which is an extra more. But that's where I'll definitely say if you are wanting to get the Series S, it is only an extra $30 to go for the 1TB option, which will save you about $70 on getting an expansion card. But obviously that does depend if you do plan to obviously have more games on the Series S. But something I do think is very important to actually talk about right now is how future-proof is the Series S right now. Because right now we are in a few years already with the Series S, and it's already talks about the next-gen console, which is known as Project Helix. Now, I do say if you are someone that is wanting to also get a console for your living room, or you're just wanting to play casual games and you don't really care about having the best hardware, the Series S will still give you some good performance, especially when it comes to gaming. And do keep in mind, you can still stream your favorite shows and movies at 4K. So if you do plan to actually get something like this for your living room, it'll work perfectly. And one of the main things I do like about the Series S is its small form factor, which makes it easier to actually place in any room without being in the way. Which obviously is one of the main big things about the Series S, is that it's not as big as the Series X or a PS5. But also, as we are getting closer to the end of the video, I do want to talk about the pricing for the Series S. Now, something to keep in mind is that we are currently going through the RAM shortage, where it's extremely expensive to get any hardware, and well, this console used to be a lot more affordable, but at the moment you can currently get it under $400 from Amazon, which there will obviously be a link in the description. But as I said earlier, you can also get the 1TB option for about $430, which is still a cheap price. But yes, unfortunately, gaming is still very expensive, and this is currently one of the cheaper ways you can get into gaming without going for a Nintendo Switch. Now, at the time of recording, I will definitely say this is still a good console to go for. It still gives you good performance, and so far it's still going to be compatible with future games, including GTA 6, which obviously is expected to be released later this year. This will still be a good console to go for. But if you are wanting to get more performance when it comes to gaming, I do recommend to go for either the Series X or even go for a PS5 because while those consoles are definitely more future-proof when it comes to gaming. But if you are indeed someone that is on a budget, the Series S will make a good option, and if you don't mind being able to play at 1440p at 120 FPS, this will definitely be a good option to actually go for your gaming needs. But otherwise, let me know in the comments below, do you think you'll get yourself the Xbox Series S, or would you actually go for the Series X? And if you do have any questions, put them in the comments below and I'll answer them as soon as I can. But catch you guys next one. Be safe as always and have a good day onwards. Bye.